Once you've got your weekend completely set up and you're doing registration, or you get to the race either Saturday or Sunday, if you'd like to put up a preliminary points report, it'll probably match what is in your kit that was sent with your USB drive and your printed version of a points report. But um, if you would like to, if you need another one, if you want to update it or double check that your software is doing the same thing or very similar, obviously, if there's been corrections since the printout that was mailed to you, it will vary, but it should give you a good base idea that your software is doing what it's supposed to. Um, to do that, at any time, just make sure that you are on the state finals. If you've set up multiple days in your race setup, use this drop down, get to the date of your final, and then go to reports, go to championship standings, choose the state standings, and then print a standings report. You've got a couple options here. The first one, exclude the championship race. You will need to check that because you haven't ran the championship race, so you won't get points unless you check that box. So make sure that you exclude the championship race for the time being if you're trying to run a preliminary points report. And then you've got a couple options. You can either show them with the non-qualified riders to maybe try to track down a problem of why someone says they should be on there and they're not. Or in this case, let's run it as just the qualified riders only. So anyone in contention for a state plate, they're going to be listed on this report here for Pennsylvania. And it will take some time to build. If you're running on an older computer, a slower computer, or you just know that your stuff takes some time, be aware that just let it do its job. It'll generate a points report. And notice here in the top header, it will show you qualified riders only, and it's excluding the championship race. So that tells us that you know we basically got only one guy in the six expert. That's not surprising, as the six expert class doesn't have many riders around the country. But you can see that he does have the 5 SCRs. There's one plate available, and of course, there's only one rider racing this final. And there could be more racing, but only one's going to be qualified to receive the awards. So as you go through the list, you can double check things. That could be your preliminary points report there. But notice that everybody in this report has the proper amount of SCRs as it's qualified riders only. If you see the T's in there, that means a tie has been broken. In that case, obviously we haven't ran the final yet, so we'll probably break that tie during the day of racing. But if not, it will then show B's to let you know that it broke the tie off the tiebreak rules. So there's some B's right there, and, as we got multiple, you know, it really kind of can break the tie. Sometimes preliminary points report has the T because it can't break the tie because they're literally equal all the way through. So the state final is going to kind of be the deciding factor for that. So as you go through the points report, that is it. It's showing non or qualified riders only, and it's excluding the championship race. So that's a good preliminary points report. Again, if you want to run that points report, go back to the same area, championship standings, state standings report, and if you check on both of those, because again, we're going to exclude the championship race. It has not been ran yet, but we're going to go ahead and show the non-qualified riders this time. And you'll see a big difference in this report. It's going to take a little longer to run, and once it gets there, you will see there's going to be a lot more riders in there because obviously they're not all qualified for awards. So you're going to see everybody that participated in one state race. If they ran any sort of race during the season at all that was of state value, then they will be on this report as non-qualified. So you can post that if you would like, but it's a good suggestion to maybe print one of these and keep it in the sign-up building in case someone's saying they were not on the report. You can track down and say, well, you only got 2 SCRs, and then at that point we would have to get into a situation where they're trying to, track down what it is and where they went, and we'll go through some of that a little bit later. But you'll see the ends on this report. That shows that they're not qualified. So if you see any ends on there, you've probably ran this report, the qualified and non-qualified riders. And again, the championship race is excluded. And that's how it's getting its plate numbers too. Either way you run it, there's 7 plates available because there's, well, considering there's 12 riders here, so we're going to we got a lot of non-qualifieds in that one, but yeah, so your plates are available. Everything still shows the same, but you've got the non-qualified riders in there. So those are the preliminary points reports that you want to run.